Getting ready to put a battery in the wife's 2015 GMC Acadia. We've had this thing for every bit of 6-7 years. Had no problems out of it. A little pass on me. I've worked on automobiles for the biggest part of my life, and you get a lot of bad reviews out of these GMCs, but I do believe if you take care of them, you'll get everything you need out of them. I think this one has roughly 120,000 miles on it, no issues. I want to send a shout out to Autozone for hooking us up with a battery. We do have a commercial account with them, so if you're looking for a battery for your vehicle, you go through them. Ford GK D114 is your number on that. We're going to pause and get set up, and we'll show you where. Well, we can show you now, I guess. Show you. You have to lift this mat up on your passenger side behind your front seat. Get that out of your way, and we'll be taking these two compartments off. So I'll get her to go to the other side, and she can record me doing so. All right, so we got a panel here we have to pull off. It's underneath your seat, just a little skid plate. It's got some pop-in tabs or clips. Pop it out of the way, and that will open this up. Now this is going to be a T20 socket that you'll need. We'll zip it out real quick. Biggest thing about when you do these, even though you may have a low battery, make sure you'll take this negative terminal off. We're going to need a 10 socket and a 13 to do this job with. We're going to use our Harbor Freight color-coded sockets here. Had a lot of tools in my time. I lose a lot of tools, so Harbor Freight makes it easier for me to lose them. So that's why I stick with them, and they do sell pretty decent tools. I mean, it's not going to be snap-on every time, but it will get you some money and get the job done. So negative was off first. We'll take this positive terminal off next. These do have a vent that goes to the outside, so you have to make sure when you hook these batteries back up that you put your vent to the outside. So there was our 10. Get our 13 here. Take our holder off. It's down in here deep. I probably should got another extension, but we'll make it work. Right here, if you can see where my finger is, there is a vent, and this goes out of the body to the outside, so the gases that it creates does exit the vehicle. So you have to make sure you use this type of battery. We're going to pause here. I'm going to lift this thing up out of there because it doesn't have handles on it, and I don't want you to watch when you struggle. So as soon as we get this one out and set the other one in, we'll be right back. Try it again. It's a very tight fit, I'll give it that. All right, we'll make sure we hook our vent up first because it's the easiest thing to forget. It won't give you a whole lot of room to do it in, that's for sure. There we go, that's in. Come back with our positive here. These little Harbor Freight ratchets here, 3/8 on one side, 1/4 on the other. They're a good little ratchet. They sure do what you need it to do, so highly recommend them. Good and snug. And we'll put our hold down bracket back on before I put my ground on, just in case we hit anything here. Don't want to strike no gold. So. try to always start everything by hand. I don't like to start anything by ratchet, impact, or anything. You can't feel if you got it started correctly or not. And then by the time you figure it out, it's cross-threaded. So. Good thing about using these little small handle ratchets is you don't over tighten anything. You don't have no leverage to do so. So kind of keeps me from stripping anything out. So we're going to put our terminal back on there. All right, so we're going to pause there, and then we're going to start the vehicle up, make sure we're charging and everything's good before we put all this back together. Okay, we're back inside here. Get ready to try this baby out. See how it works. So ideally we will go up over 13 volts, just like we are. So I think that's going to get our problem. But before now we was charging every 13 volts, but overnight it would lose charge. So did a little battery test on that, and came back as a bad cell in the battery. So a little bit of dust here to look at. My wife's gonna kill me for showing that, but it kind of is what it is. It's very blurry. There we go. So I'm gonna pause it and go back there, and once again pick back up where we're at. Okay, we'll put our covers back on here after we checked everything. Everything seems to be good. Make sure there's no. Yep. So this slides right in, and we'll put our T screw back in, T20. Fair enough. These here, this is where these clips go. We'll slide this over. And a little clip there. If we can get it back, I think I did that wrong, so I have to pop it back up out of there. There we go. And that's how you put a battery in a 2015 Acadia. So once again, thanks for watching. I highly recommend using these cheap tools. And you mechanics know the 10's the first one to go, but I would rather use lose a cheap socket than with a good socket. So thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Well, we've already made a blooper. We'll be adding this to the end of the video. So as you can see here, we left the cover off the positive. There is no metal on the bottom of this, but just to make sure that we don't ground anything out, especially with that positive being on there, we're going to take it back apart on the positive leg here. We're going to loosen it up. Go ahead and take that ground off first. You always want to take the ground off first. Well, it's seated in there. Okay. That's that. That will lay right inside there. Tell you. Gee, there is. There we go. Just lay right down the side of there, just like so, and we'll tighten it back down. The wife asked me, did I want to hit record? I said absolutely, because nobody's perfect with this stuff. They tell you they are. Everybody messes up. So I'd rather show you that I do mess up than I never do. So, alrighty. Looks like our vent come off when I pulled that back off of there. And there's our ground. I think we call this a twofer. 2 times 1 day. So, all right. When we get done doing this, we'll be experts. All right, so we done showed you how to do this part. I don't think there's no sense of keeping on recording. So once again,